with the Cleveland Browns winning their first playoff game since 1994 in an ass-kicking of their longtime foe, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first time that Big Ben has lost to the Cleveland Browns in Pittsburgh happens in the playoffs, and it was awesome
You have to wonder if that Bernie Kosar jersey that's buried outside the stadium had something to do with it. Or you might wonder if maybe this had something to do with it. Juju Smith-Schuster,
Big
before
Ben's
the
crying.
game,
PFT, I
he's
gotta
crying.
interrupt you. He is literally crying.
No, Big Ben.
That was really sad to see.
Pain. I mean, that prolonged zoom in that they had on him, it was, hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh, this actually makes me sad.
This is very sad. I mean,
and his chin's looking really fat.
You don't know if this is Big Ben's last game in Pittsburgh, or at least he'll say that it is at some point. Big Ben's definitely going to do, I need to take some time this offseason with my family to discuss, and by family he means all of his sperm, his mini sperm.
That kind of broke me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. We might have lost two legends this weekend. But all right, go ahead, back. Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju Smith-Schuster, before the game, he said, I think they're still the same Browns team I play every year. I think they're nameless gray faces. They have a couple good players on their team, but at the end of the day, the Browns is the Browns. Well, guess what? These Browns is not the Browns. These Browns is those Browns that we saw against the Tennessee Titans for half. These Browns just won their Super Bowl because I don't think anybody expects the Browns to go out next week and beat the Chiefs. I know I don't. I think the Chiefs are probably going to house them, especially if they're missing all of their offensive linemen like they appear to be. But this was the Super Bowl for the Browns, and they did it. And maybe, just maybe, the issue wasn't that Juju Smith-Schuster was dancing on opponents' fields and doing TikToks. Maybe it's just that Juju Smith-Schuster is addicted to giving bulletin board material.
Yes, I was going to say, like, how has Juju Smith-Schuster not learned his lesson on that?
Well, he did. He stopped dancing.
Yeah, that's true.
So you need to. Mike Tomlin needs to spell it out for him. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this game, this was the ultimate Michael Corleone gift. Just when I thought I was out, they reeled me back in. We thought this game was over. 28-0. I mean, most teams, when they go up 28-0, you're like, this game's over.
And it felt like it was over actually after the very.
Was my point.
Who was it?
Just when they thought I was. It's Paulie Walnuts.
I mean, it's Michael Corleone.
No, Hank's right. It's
Michael
Paulie Walnuts
in
and Sopranos did that. Or no, it wasn't Paulie Walnuts. It was.
What am I?
Is Van Zandt.
It's Michael Corleone.
So in The Sopranos,
it
when he's doing the impression,
Godfather
Hank,
3, which I can understand why you would forget.
Silvio's doing an impression of the Godfather.
Right. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
He thought that Silvio invented that. I love it.
You only watched one season of The Sopranos.
I might have had the wrong Michael. My bad. That's
okay, all right. So, back to what I was saying. Michael Corleone.
The game should have been over after, it felt like it was over after the first snap because I think everybody.
No, Michael Corleone was that's not the guy that does that gif.
What are you talking about?
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
It's not just a gif.
That's Michael Corleone.
It's this guy. I'm sorry for
That's Michael Corleone.
I thought Al Pacino was Michael Corleone.
That's Al Pacino.
Oh, wow. All right.
I thought you were saying, no, why would you ever think this game was over? It's the Browns. Instead, you were fact-checking him. Yeah, that's Michael Corleone. All right, we got to all watch The Godfather in the offseason, even though
I'm going to read the book.
3, my cable provider has been, trying to make me watch 3 recently. Does anyone have Verizon? They've literally... It's just ads for 3. I'm like, I'm not watching it.
Have you just been talking about The
No.
Godfather a lot?
Yeah,
and it's like a suggested ad?
I've been like,
here, let's try something.
Fact check me. He's going to be wrong.
Let's try something real quick. Godfather 3. Godfather 3. Godfather 3. Let us know if you get any suggested ads for watching The Godfather 3 now.
All right, so just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. The Browns, 28-0, and ass kicking. And obviously the first touchdown was a fluke because it was a high snap. But so we all said to ourselves, oh, okay, the Browns got a lucky one, whatever. No. They fucking kicked their ass. They were running the ball down their throat. They had that moment in the third quarter where it did get a little hairy because they don't have a head coach. And you thought, the Steelers can do this. All the momentum's going their way. And then right when the Steelers had all the momentum, Mike Tomlin decided to punt from 4th and 1.
Chicken shit football. Well, it's because the Steelers can't get a yard. There are times when the Steelers have the ball when they need 2 or 3 yards, and they can get 2 or 3, but they can never get 1. And so Mike Tomlin pulled a chicken shit move when most coaches would do the thing where they say, if we don't get a yard, we don't deserve to win, so let's go for it. Mike Tomlin, he cut off his eyelids. He always talks about, you can't blink if you cut your eyelids off. He cut his fucking eyelids off.
The craziest part to me was you had all the momentum, and then the Browns, It took them like 3 plays to get exactly back to the same point of the field where you would have given the ball to them if you had gone for it and not gotten it. I did see one person, and I love this idea, that the Steelers, and some teams should do this at some point, they went to the line in punt formation. They tried to get him offsides. They took a 5-yard penalty to delay a game. Why not fake it then?
After you get the 5-yard
No
penalty?
one's expecting it.
Yeah, no,
no one's
it's not
expecting
bad.
you to do a harder fake.
I actually think if you're going to punt the ball there, don't bring your punter out there. You have the best pooch kicking quarterback of all time, besides probably Michael Vick, in Ben Roethlisberger, who can punt the ball
Literally has a boot
within the 10-yard line every time he tries.
Yep.
And they ended up kicking it out of the back of the end zone, get a touchback, and like you said, the Browns drove down the field very easily. This does validate our take that the Steelers were the worst 11-0 team of all time.
Ooh, that was bad.
So I was saying earlier this year that the football team broke the Steelers, which they did in a way, but this goes back even further. The Steelers have not won a playoff game since Blake Bortles broke the Steelers.
Well, that in this game, funny enough, this game was almost a mirror image of it because it was the Browns jumped on them. Like the Jaguars, remember, were up 28-7 in that game. Big Ben ends up throwing for like 500 yards.
He had the most completions in NFL history today.
Like the whole game felt like catch up for the Steelers, and it was like I think the game kind of broke at the end of. What was it? The end of the first half. Yeah, it was the end of the first half when the Steelers scored, made it 28-7, and you're like, okay, this could be a game in the second half, and then the Browns just went right back down the field and scored again. And it was an ass kicking, and I'm so happy for Browns fans. That was probably their best, for many Browns fans, definitely their best moment in their life. You have a date with the Chiefs next week, but don't fucking worry about that.
Yeah.
This was
your Super Bowl tonight.
This is a full-on enjoy this till like Friday night, maybe kind of wake up and be like, oh, yeah, we got to play the Chiefs this weekend. Friday night. You get until Friday night to just bask in it. And this is something we talked about a million times. It's probably the most relatable sports fan thing. If you're a Browns fan, you take tomorrow off, not because you're so hungover. No. You take tomorrow off so that you can sit your ass on the couch and watch every single hour of SportsCenter and every debate show and that is the best feeling when you win a playoff game and you get to sit there and you get to read all of the recaps and you get to even go and read like are the Steelers done? Is Big Ben retiring? You get to read the other team's message board. Everything. Soak it in. It is it's Nirvana. It's better than winning the game.
Yeah.
Winning the game is fun. Like the afterglow of being able to just consume all of sports media, including this show right now, is the best.
Get Up hits different after a playoff win. It really does. And you're going to have Ryan Clark just like talking in the highest pitched voice possible, saying blow the entire thing up. It's going to be a real treat for Cleveland Browns fans. And you're going to have all day Saturday to get drunk and watch football without having to worry about your team and what's going to happen in the game. So you get a bonus extra weekend essentially of football, and plus almost all day on Sunday
and
before you have to play
3 o'clock.
And you're still in it, and there's still a Team of Destiny vibe because it is Swagger's death day on Super Bowl Sunday. So you never know. You never know at this point. But it's this season is a victory for the Browns. Congrats!
Yes.
The Cleveland Browns have won the Super Bowl of Ohio.
Baker was phenomenal tonight. Without a head coach, which is significant because it did feel like in that third quarter, we were sitting there being like, really would have been nice if they had a head coach right now because it felt like it was slipping, and they had a couple drives where they just went run, try to pass for a long third down punt. And you're like, okay, they're just trying to hope the clock runs out. And then they woke up a little in that fourth quarter, scored a couple more times. Cody Parkey didn't miss any kicks.
Jarvis Landry, the most important player on that Browns offense, was great.
Awesome.
Van Pelt, he was the guy that was coaching, right? He got to throw a challenge. He got to throw a challenge flag.
Just to
that was cool. He did it for real no reason for the challenge.
No,
but he was like, you know what? I might not get this opportunity again. I'm literally going to leave it on the field. I'm going to throw a challenge flag out there.
It was the shocking part to me. I mean, we all knew the Browns were a good football team. They got to the playoffs. They won, 10 games, 11 games. No, now 11 games, but they won 10 games. No, they won 11 games.
They won 12 games.
They have 12 wins now. So
that would take Hugh Jackson like 40 years to do.
Yeah, we all knew they were a good team, but I think it was incredible how much they were able to have their way with the Steelers defense, which wasn't what it was to start the season when it was the number 1 defense, but it still is a top 10 defense, and it has like some dudes on it. So, if you had told me the Browns won, I would have thought, oh, okay, well, they won a low-scoring affair that they were able to get a couple bounces. No, this was a straight-up shootout, and they kicked the shit out of the Steelers.
Yeah. What we learned was that practice is overrated this week. The Browns didn't practice at all. They weren't allowed to practice. They did like Zoom meetings. They did everything remotely because their coaching staff was all sick. And so they didn't practice. They were fresh.
I'm happy they won too, just because
Allen Iverson was right.
It would have sucked. It would have sucked to have that entire, they got screwed by the NFL, which I think they kind of did, but not have that. Have it be like, all right, you won, even though you didn't have a coach. That had to be the coolest thing ever for Kevin Stefanski to be sitting in his basement watching it by himself and being like, holy shit, we're going to win this game.
Yeah.
Like,
what kind of snacks do you think he had going?
I
feel
know.
like he might have been one of those coaches that's like too nervous to eat.
I don't think he ate, yeah.
Oh, he had the COVID, so he can't taste anything.
So that's when you should eat.
Yeah. Exactly. If you can't taste anything,
like gefilte fish.
I would be slamming like tequila, moonshine.
Going on lowering the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did get a chuckle out of people tweeting that the Steelers should fire Mike Tomlin. Now, whether they should or they shouldn't, I don't think they should.
No.
I don't think he's had a losing season in like 20
Ever?
years. The Steelers don't fire coaches. So if you thought a 4th and 1 punt was going to get Mike Tomlin fired, you haven't paid attention to the Steelers organization.
Yeah,
they will be back next year. They will probably win between 10 and 12 games. But we don't know what the future is for Big Ben because 4 interceptions. He looked oldish. Threw for a shitload of yards against a defense that was kind of playing prevent for like a half.
And he just can't move. That's the bigger issue.
What do you
Big Ben
think he does?
can't move. Do you think he just gets a walking boot permanently attached?
What do you think? What do you think he's going to do?
Big Ben, I think
Just
maybe you just put me on and just
slide
kick your tootsies up on the couch.
Maybe pull up your True Religion jeans.
Ben,
and slide into this boot.
we care a whole heck of a lot about you, and we just like to take a little time for us.
We can't keep doing this, Ben. You're fucking 75 years old in football years.
You missed me, Ben. We fit so good together.
Let's sit down. Let's have a nice sit in the boot. Listen to some Christian rock. Throw football to our kids in the backyard. Call it a career.
Ben, you know what? Well, just for old time's sake, why don't you mosey on over to youporn.com. See what all the new videos are. You haven't but touched any of them.
How about you just retire for the next 3 months and then we'll come on back?
Ben's going to pull Lamar Odom and watch every porn video on the internet. He's going to be done with it.
He's going to die from gas station boner pills, but it's going to be just in his office.
He's gonna,
Like he didn't go anywhere.
Well, guys, my elbow injury is acting up again. Can't figure out why.
I hope he doesn't retire. I don't think he'll retire. I think he'll retire. You said it. I think he will retire for like 2 months.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going to retire.
There'll
but
be a
he's
lot
not
of
gonna
thinking
stay
about
retired.
his stories. Yeah.
If they had made it to like the AFC Championship game, I could see him walking away. But this is going to leave a bad taste in his mouth.
He was
no
crying.
offense to Kevin Stefanski. He's going to want to come back. He doesn't want to go out like this in Pittsburgh.
He was crying.
And it was. I really enjoyed this matchup. I don't know what it was about the colors of the teams. The Browns orange was popping harder. The Steelers black at home at night in a playoff game is the blackest black that's ever been black. It's so dark. It's so awesome. I'm gonna miss Big Ben playing for these Steelers if this is actually it for him.
It can't be.
But you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna figure out a way. They're gonna get another great quarterback instantly. And be right
I
back.
still think they're going to get Sam Darnold, and he's going to be the new Big Ben.
Could be.
He's kind of fit for it.
Big Ben,
big guy, throws some picks.
I bet you Big Ben
has a funny face.
He's played through mono several times.
Yeah, absolutely. That's nothing. All right.
I got 2 stats.
Yeah, give them
Okay.
to us, Jake.
1, scoregami,
Really?
Okay.
48-37.
Unreal.
2, last 5 weeks of the season, Jets 2 wins, Steelers 1.
Whoa, that's
Worst
brutal.
11-0
Tough.
team of all time. I think the city of Pittsburgh, you don't owe me an apology. I'm not going to make you apologize. You've been through enough tonight. But just so you know, I was right.
I mean,
That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah. I mean, they just fell off. They fell off.